In the search for Scotland's Home of the Year, our judges have travelled the length and breadth of the country. Architect and university teacher Michael Angus, renowned Glasgow-based interior designer Anna Campbell-Jones, and globally recognised lifestyle blogger Kate Spears have visited 21 exceptional homes. Now the judges celebrate the finalist from each of the 7 regions and must choose just one of them to be our winner.
The standard in this final is exemplary. It is way beyond anything I was actually predicting.
There's been such a contrast between super contemporary, really quirky, really original, really personal homes and all different scales.
We've got a flat, we've got a castle, we've even got an adorable 70s bungalow. Everything is unique in its own way, but so impressive.
But only one of them can go home with a trophy.
It's been delightful to discover the variety of creativity that is actually happening in Scottish architecture and in these homes.
It's been an incredible experience to go around the homes, and we are so honoured to look around some magnificent homes.
And we've definitely got to make some tough decisions today. It's going to be really, really difficult to pick one. At this moment, I feel like any one of them could be the winner.
Our final brings us to the beautiful House for an Art Lover in Glasgow. Here, the judges will decide on Scotland's Home of the Year and present a trophy to the winner.
We've turned it into a home that we're proud to bring people to and to show them around. So.
And our daughter loves it, which is the main thing.
Making the final is fantastic. I hadn't imagined that it would happen, but it has, and I'm thrilled.
As soon as I walked into that place, I just knew it was the spot for me. It was just great. Everything I was looking for, it ticked all the boxes.
Great for entertaining, and also great just to sit by the fire of a Sunday night and have a glass of wine and watch Countryfile.
We wanted to build something special there, something extraordinary.
It's a space in which we live, and it's airy and warm. I love it. I just love it.
So it's there to entertain, it's there to have the family, and we live in it as though it were a modern house, even though it's 400 years old.
Our home is the most amazing place to bring up our family. It's just a happy place, isn't it, Ivan? A happy place to play, a happy place to eat, a happy place to sleep, just to be. It's just a great place.
A little bit nervous about this next bit of choosing one.
The 7 finalists are all so different, but they're all so amazing in their own way.
I really don't know where we stand, each of us. It's all going to come down to what we believe makes a home.
This is the first time the finalists are meeting and their first chance to see who they're up against in the competition.
This is Ivan.
Are you having fun? Is it funny seeing your house up here?
Lovely
No?
picture,
It's lovely.
I'm not sure how they can compare all the different buildings. And it'd be really interesting to understand and see what and why they've decided. And yeah, it's exciting.
It's an incredible position there. Lovely position. Amazing,
Yeah,
isn't
it is. It's into the cooling. It looks right up into
Amazing. Look at the deck there. It's incredible.
Meeting everyone here today, I mean, they're just amazing. And all the houses are completely different, and some of the projects are phenomenal.
So is this the main entrance to the home here?
This is the main entrance is on the upper floor.
Okay.
Because it has to be upside down, because the reception rooms have to be on the first floor so that you can get the view.
Yeah.
Being here in such a wonderful house is, of course, tremendous in itself. And then meeting all the other homeowners has been lovely.
When we entered the competition, we had no idea or no thoughts that we'd actually make it through to the final, so it's been great.
We just entered it for fun.
So is this just like a sort of walkway?
Yes, you come in the front door and there's like a passageway runs down the front.
I think it's going to be really tough because all the houses are so different. So I think they've got quite a big challenge on their hands, haven't they?
It's great, isn't it?
Everybody's very passionate about what they're, about where they live, and because I think people's houses are a reflection of their personality and their lifestyle.
Can it pivot both ways?
Yeah, the bedroom one slides open, and then there's one's on a double pivot, so you can have it closed and open. It just rolls along.
been really great to kind of meet people from especially different areas of Scotland. It's not just the central belt, it's all over. So we've got people from the Highlands and Islands and all over the shop, so it's really cool.
Oh, hello. Hi. It's so wonderful to see you all gathered here today. Just wanted to say that I know I speak for all of us. It's been such a privilege to look around your amazing homes these last few weeks.
Yeah, we really did see some of the most beautiful homes in Scotland, so to make it this far is such an achievement, and you should all be so proud. We had such a fun time exploring your homes, so thank you.
So we now need to retire, deliberate, and select our top 3. And from that top 3, we select one which will be Scotland's Home of the Year.
So, we'll see you soon. Wish us luck.
In the deliberation room, the judges will consider each home in turn before whittling them down to their top 3.
Well, what a phenomenal selection of finalists that we have here, don't you think?
It's going to be tough deliberating,
It's going to be very tough.
It gets dark at night, so we'll need to start. Shall we start with Boulogne Castle in Tain?
Here it is.
Well, this is clearly our oldest contender that we have.
Yep.
And something beautiful about age, perhaps. I would say that, of course.
Lachie and Annie impressed the judges with their renovation of Boulogne Castle in Tain in Rothshire. This magnificent medieval home with views over the Murray Firth has been redesigned, creating 4 bathrooms and 7 sumptuous bedrooms, and won the heat in the north.
It's been used for the same purpose as a family house, and we don't use it any differently from the Mackenzies who lived there 400 years ago.
I'd never forget that climb up that stair and arriving in that amazing hall. That really stays with me, moving up through this magical castle.
And that incredible cedar-lined dressing room where you had that secret door in the corner and we all climbed through, and then there was this bedroom with the curtains around the bed. It was more enclosure. It was amazing.
Yeah, it met our expectations, I think, in terms of the turrets and the secret rooms.
Yeah.
I adored the bathroom. It was just so beautiful, and I loved the way that they'd really had a clear plan when they designed that with the tiles and that big bath. It was beautiful.
It's Caithness slate, and then we make these tiles.
Yes.
It was funny because these to me were all treats, right? They were all beautiful treats as we moved up through the building. But I actually would have been quite happy at that favourite place that they had selected, which was in front of that fire, and just sitting in that hall. Brilliant.
Very romantic, wasn't it, sitting there?
Brilliant.
Okay, so let's talk about this fabulous home, the Gables in Stonehaven.
The Gables, owned by Scott and Anne in Stonehaven, won over the judges in the northeast of Scotland. Their impressive 7-bed, 5-bath Edwardian home was brought into the 21st century with a stunning contemporary extension incorporating a huge kitchen, mezzanine, open-plan living and large patio garden.
The house design has always been around family and friends. It's been about bringing people together. So I hope, and I think, we've achieved that in the design.
Their favourite place, the one thing that the traditional Edwardian villa didn't do, and they could just, just kind of flow straight out into their new deck and everything.
It just feels comfortable to be able to go outside because we didn't have any of that before.
They used the different rooms to create completely different atmospheres. I mean, the living room was very sedate, very kind of colour coordinated, very, very calm. And then you start going off into the study or the downstairs loo and woo, crazy stuff happens. Well, stuffed badgers.
Yeah, stuffed badgers. If there's stuffed badgers, there's one thing I would still remove. It would definitely be the taxidermy.
Taxidermy. I remember just being blown away. Their taste in the quirky wallpaper. I even warmed to the taxidermy after a little while. Still wouldn't touch it. I loved it. I loved the bathroom especially. I thought they had a really eclectic taste in their interiors.
Our house does try and combine old and new, which I don't think the others have tried to do. So that may be a unique feature.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
It really
finance
is.
to have.
Yeah, and a really, really worthy finalist.
Absolutely.
Let's look at the Humpty House in Angus, your
Angus.
namesake.
Obviously, it's got to be good if it comes from Angus.
Ben and Rosemary wowed the judges with the Humpty House in central Scotland. They built this award-winning contemporary home on the site of an old quarry near the town of Currymuir in Angus. This 3-bed, 3-bath home has been cleverly designed to allow work and home life to flourish under one roof.
We put a lot of blood, sweat and tears into building that house, and it's a special place to live.
The first thing I remember about walking up to this house was there's old style, there's new style, and they composed it in a way that leaves me actually thinking that's actually a very harmonious composition altogether, both inside and out.
But brought together by their very, very particular taste and the kind of colour palette they were using, the strong yellows, the soft greys, set against the white and that beautiful floor.
Yeah, beautiful taste in soft furnishings, isn't there? So, so pretty in there.
The ground floor windows are all set at British standard seat height.
Okay.
So we've got another 50 seats in the house.
I didn't realise there was a British standard seat height. I've learned something today.
It was lovely, white and light and bright home, wasn't it? When we walked in, it was you were kind of pulled to the living area. Even though they had kind of a work-life balance, you know, you could see that our family lived there, which was lovely to see.
It's been designed with the whole of our family's lifetime in mind. It's adaptable.
It's sort of the most personalised space. Every single thing is there because it's what they want.
Yeah, reason for everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, to Little Blair in Dalgety Bay.
Little Blair.
Rachel and Andy charmed the judges with their colourful 2-bed, 1-bath 70s bungalow renovation. Their home, known as Little Blair House, was given a new lease of life, creating a warm and inviting family home that clinched the win in the East.
We've taken what was there and we've sort of, done internal work and really transformed it. So I think it's quite a lot different to the other properties in that respect.
Just immediately all went, oh, when we walked in. That cute little gallery wall, it was quite busy, but it seemed to work. And I think I really admired their commitment to it because they had a theme and they ran with it.
What's this on the walls here? This is
like a gallery wall that I created, just to sort of make the living room really nice and cosy.
I'll never get over just walking up and seeing this different front that actually says, no, the front of my house is going to reflect how I am and who I am.
I also loved the way that, obviously, it's a family home, and it was full of furniture and objects that had been there for maybe a couple of generations, but they'd been repurposed, refinished to suit the way that they want to live. It's just full of love and imagination.
It's the word that we keep coming back to. It's just this is a love house. It's that thing that they found value in everything.
Yeah, we felt full of joy being in there. It must just be such a magical little home.
Yeah, it's just like living in a playhouse.
Yeah, it's like a playhouse.
Scotland is filled with homes, from grand architectural wonders to humble cottages. But only a few are destined to become national treasures, allowing future generations to take a glimpse into the past. Our judges have been taking some time out to visit the ones that most interest them. For Kate Spears, living in a tenement flat holds a special place in her heart. She has come along to the tenement house in Glasgow to find out more about these iconic homes.
Hi!
The tenement house was a home until the 1960s, but the owners kept it in the same style since the 1930s. Today, complete with their furniture and possessions, it is a perfect time capsule of tenement life nearly 100 years ago. Guide Lucy Donnell knows its secrets.
This actually feels quite a lot like my tenement, where we walk into the hallway. I've got quite the same sort of style where it's quite large, all doors leading off. In my tenement, I actually painted all the wood white because I wanted a brighter space, but I suppose they kind of liked it a bit darker, did they? It feels almost quite cosy in here.
Back then, it was coal gas you would burn, which was quite a bit dirtier. So, you would get staining on your walls and on your ceilings. In fact, you would have to paint. You'd have to whitewash your ceilings as part of your spring clean. Maybe even do it twice a year.
Yeah. So it's interesting that this layout is the way that it is, because it's quite similar to tenement flats that I've seen. Even my own flat is very similar, with the fireplace over here.
And of course the bow window here as well, that just really wants a table at it.
Yeah. It's quite typical for a table to be there, right? So I've noticed this bed through here.
Now this tenement has 1 bedroom, but it actually has 3 beds. And this is one of them. And while the bed itself does look small, it is about 6 foot by 4 foot.
Okay.
So
it's interesting because I have this space in my tenement flat, and mine actually goes through, and it's a large cupboard, so it's kept that area, but it's no longer a bedroom. These were banned for health reasons, is that right?
yes, the bed is actually enclosed quite a bit more than 3/4. And you have the doorway as well. Now the door would be closed, and there's no ventilation inside. Overcrowding was an issue in tenements as well, so not in this household, but you could have several people sharing beds.
Yeah.
And no ventilation all night.
So the kitchen.
This is definitely the room where you would be more like your living room.
The heart of the home in here.
Definitely.
I think in here it's strange for me because I really struggle actually with my flat having such high ceilings. You never really know what to do with that space, do you? And I think the open shelving, it really it works in its favour to sort of make the room feel a bit more snug.
Oh, definitely, and all you need is a little step ladder.
Yeah, get right up there, clamber up.
I would say the most impressive part of the kitchen as well is the range. The range really is the heart of the house. It has an oven. It heats hot water that feeds the kitchen sink there and also the bathroom.
Yeah, and then eventually, I guess, in old tenement kitchens, these eventually were taken out.
They were. A big change was the Clean Air Act came in. You know, there was a movement to get rid of these. So we're really lucky that this has survived.
Wow.
Yes.
Such a nice little room.
It's a nice room, isn't it? It's got a slightly different atmosphere from the other rooms.
I think it's bright. It's so bright.
It
it's
is
so much
bright.
brighter than, especially even the living room next door, even though it's the same sort of light that's coming in. It feels such an open space in here.
The fireplace in here was rarely lit. So it was kept quite clean.
Wow.
So it's quite light and airy. There's the washstand here as well. Now this was brought in by the tenants from a previous home.
I've seen a lot of this where people take furniture like this and sort of upcycle it and put the sink on top, and it's interesting. This was, I guess, where I was inspired from.
The bed as well. You can actually see underneath there's an old straw mattress. So the mattress that's on the bed is a horsehair mattress. So those were your choices really. You had straw or you had horsehair.
I love this. Is this a rag rug? Scraps?
Yes. So rag rugs really were very common during the Second World War. And it was out of necessity really, because along with food, materials were very difficult to get hold of.
You can imagine going away on holiday and staying in a room like this nowadays, especially the kind of country farmhouse or something. It reminds me so much of my own home, and I felt it wasn't so far removed of how I live, and I think the rooms, the way it's laid out, and it was interesting, you know, going around and seeing everything in there. It felt like it had a function, it had a purpose. I can make sense of it.
At the House for an Art Lover, the finalists are awaiting the judges' decisions.
We are going to talk about another stunner, the White House in Kirkcudbright.
Leslie impressed the judges with her striking home known as the White House and secured the win in the south. Her eye-catching cylindrical home has open-plan living and spectacular views of the Solway Coast upstairs, while downstairs there are 4 generous bedrooms and 4 bathrooms.
The house is just a wonderful place full of light and life and happy memories.
Yeah, a bit of an emotional moment in that house, wasn't it? These giant, massive sort of drums. You didn't really know what they were going to be. And then you went over a bridge, and you know I'm a fan, through that front door, and it's just like, boom! The view is just absolutely jaw-droppingly amazing. And the space was really, really, really beautiful.
So is this a view from your living room here?
Yes, this is a view from there. Yes.
Okay.
I think for me, the library was what did it.
It's a really, really inviting space, a space that you'd want to sit and read.
I mean, getting the chance, imagine closing the door and just sitting in there completely surrounded by books. I loved that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a house when we approached it, was it? You turned up and looked at it and went, what? And after you'd been through it and left it, you kind of went, yeah, I get it. Totally get it.
It's a home.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So from expansive views of wild nature to expansive views of wild behaviour, the flat in Glasgow Green.
David's Glasgow Green flat fascinated the judges with its puzzle box design. The one-bed, one-bath home is the smallest in the competition and used unique ways to store items under the floor as well as dividing up rooms. This unusual home has cutting-edge interior architecture at its heart and won the heat in the West.
My home's very, modern, very easy to live in. It just works for me. There isn't too much clutter. It's very space-saving. It's very efficient. Easy to clean.
Oh, what a hidden gem in Glasgow. Who knew what would be inside? Such a, a versatile space, I would call it.
You could go in and you could move it around, you could make it into whatever kind of space you wanted.
These are glass.
It's glass sliding panels, so they're all hung panels. So obviously you can have your kitchen closed, kitchen open, slide all the spaces.
To see it all move, it was brilliant for that. Just a little bit of invention, a little bit of thoughtfulness, and you can have all these different living scenarios playing out with just a few hinges and a little bit of imagination. Loved that.
You enjoyed the bath as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, the bath, yeah, honestly. I need to get this. So I'm redesigning my own house and starting with that bath.
But it reminded me of sort of the Scandinavian properties today where there was so many good storage solutions. Everything had its space and it kind of forced you to be tidy and put things away, and everything, even though it was quite a compact space, it was so well organized and everything had a home, I felt.
All the space in the bedroom is underfloor storage, which you lift off with one of these window sucker panels.
All right, James Bond.
Yeah, everything's hidden away, which keeps it quite minimalist.
This flat was an example of a kind of masterclass in the use of space, and that's why it can absolutely hold its own in this competition. From sunny Glasgow to sunny Skye and Skellig.
Marcella and Ian captivated the judges with their two-bed, two-bath lochside home known as Inskalag and won the Islands category. Their spacious single-storey home was built using breeze blocks, timber, steel and softened with fabrics, rugs and polished wood.
So was there a property on it before, or was it just a piece of land?
It was the potato field. We lived in the house next door.
Oh, was it? I loved the way the walk up, it slotted right into the landscape, didn't it? And when we walked through the sort of open plan living space, we were drawn out right to the very corner of the balcony, and we were just silent while we took in that view.
Yeah, it's actually, as soon as we went into the building, we kind of left it again, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought that main living space was just so special, wasn't it? The giant areas of glass, that big one that slid secretly into the wall.
It was a bit of a joke when we designed it that, once a year you'll get to it. But as it turned out, the site is very sheltered.
And equally, this idea that the building was responsive in its own environmental concerns, it's sort of able to be heated just with a log burning stove, and that's actually going to create any thermal need that you have.
I love the little kind of canted windows. It gave each of the spaces that they addressed this brilliant slot view all the way up.
You can actually say, would you ever get tired of that view? And what it's actually saying is, no. Every single room.
Every room has the same view.
It's going to get a glimpse of that view. It's that good.
It's really interesting to see so many different projects in there. All come together in the same room and be looking at what other people have done.
I don't envy the judges.
It's nice to see their houses and see what they've done and hear sort of people talking about our house and what we've done. And I think it's been quite an eye-opener to see what's out there.
Yeah, and it's given us lots of ideas, but I'm not allowed to move again for a while, am I?
I'm a huge fan of Skye and kind of more slightly contemporary architectural design, so I think Ian and Marcella's for me is a kind of one of my favourites, but yeah, all of them are unbelievable.
I think David's house was very interesting, and talking to him, he's so passionate about it, and you can see that people's houses are a reflection of their personality as well as their lifestyle.
I like the north of the castle, because I've always wanted to live in a castle.
Each one is good of its kind, and when you're looking at each thing being good of its kind, then it's virtually impossible to pick one out.
I think all the buildings are so different, and how they could be compared and judged really interesting. So I really don't have a clue what our chances are, but I think, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It's not an easy thing to do, to decide between these 7 finalists.
It really is tough to imagine who might win.
They are very, very different to each other, and a home is as different as the people that live there.
One of Scotland's treasured homes that has captured the interest of Anna Campbell-Jones is Guns Green House in Eyemouth on the East Berwickshire coastline. It was built by the famed Scottish architect John Adams in 1753 and was the home of notorious tea smuggler John Nisbet.
Hello, Derek.
Hi, Anna. Hi, pleased to meet you.
Within it lie a few design secrets of the period, and guide Derek Janes knows its colourful past.
So this room, this has been restored to what kind of similar age to the building?
Yeah, as far as we can tell, this is the original 1750s panelling. And then when our people started restoring the house, they were poking about looking for the original colours, and this blue is the earliest colour. In fact, there are references in various 18th century books, Benjamin Franklin for one, to having a blue parlour. Yeah. So blue room.
But it's interesting. I mean, this is such an intense, strong colour.
Yeah.
And I think people think of, you know, 1700s, everything being sort of dark and sombre and neutral, and people talk about classic colours being very calm and so on.
I think he was just trying to be very modern and up to date.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. What's going on here?
Well, we've got the original 1750s Smuggler's Choice wallpaper at the end.
Smuggler's Choice.
Then that's overlaid with something perhaps from the 1770s. And then the next stage of the makeover was probably sometime around 1800,
right,
when they put this new layer of lath and plaster over it, and then put wallpaper the full height. So the dado disappeared. So it's a sort of history of interior decoration over a period of 70 or 80 years.
I mean, literally just in one wall. And,
I know.
and you know that these paint colours are sort of accurate
that's
as well?
That's the original paint colour. This, so they match into the paint scrapes and so on that we found when they were visible.
Well, it's a total kind of botched job, isn't it? Because here they've just like stuck a bit of extra plaster on. That's actually curving out.
It does slightly. And in fact, we found it by, I think somebody banged a scaffolding pole into the wall. And then what's this?
Ooh,
what's this? And that's what it was like through in the blue room.
Right,
on top of the panelling.
So Adam had an interesting client. This wasn't an old money, wealthy person.
No,
this was a
not.
smuggler.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of things did the client ask him to include?
Well, we don't know if Adam was involved, of course, but there are some special adaptations which we can see upstairs.
Brilliant. So what's this?
This is what we call the tea chute, which would hold 500 pounds weight of tea. So this trapdoor here is the access to a big underfloor hiding place, which we think was probably where they stored the surplus supplies of tea. And it goes back about 10 feet that way.
Can I go in?
Wow.
Is that allowed?
I suppose so, as long as nobody puts the lid down when you're down there.
Ooh. It goes down underneath here as well.
Yep.
Golly.
But you can see that it's solid. Stone floor, stone walls, brick.
And it's dry as a bone as well.
Yeah, because tea obviously has to be kept dry, so they'd need to keep it in this cellar on the top floor.
Well, it's ideal. I'm going to recommend to all my clients they put these in their houses.
Well, I think that's a very good idea, and if you want a consultant, we'd be happy to oblige.
OK, that's a deal. Right, I'm coming out before you lock the lid on me, because it's quite claustrophobic in there. People have misconceptions about what heritage is or what revivalism is. And to go into that blue room and to see that strong colour, I think most people would say, well, I wonder what colour this room was originally, because it looks so contemporary. It feels incredibly up to date. I mean, ideas just keep going around. They come back in slightly different forms, but you know, that room's it's beautiful now as it was back in the 1700s.
Back at the House for an Art Lover, the judges have the difficult task of whittling down the 7 finalists to their top 3.
OK, so...
Now we're on to the hard bit.
This is really, really difficult. But I'm going to be brave.
Go on then.
For the team, I'm going to be the first person to put up for discussion a home for elimination. And... OK, hopefully it's going to get easier than this, but I don't think it is. I'm going to say starter for 10, the Gables. I felt that there's something a little bit impersonal about the interior of the extension. It was not perfectly connected to the main house. And this is like niggling because I think it's great.
No, I agree. It just didn't flow through for me. I thought the kitchen was a little bit too modern, and it just didn't have that same effect on me.
Yeah. It's nothing about the taxidermy from my point of view. I find it, I delighted in that lovely Edwardian quality. But yeah, I don't disagree with some of the other comments about perhaps the slightly more, not unpleasant space of the extension, but just whether it was just too impersonal.
I thought it was a worthy finalist, but I think it's time to part ways with the Gables.
Do we all agree?
Oh, this is horrible. OK, yes.
OK.
So.
No, it's been really fun to live.
My personal favourite is Leslie's house, the White House, because I absolutely love the curved interior, and her kitchen is just so unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, a curved kitchen.
I've never seen that before.
I think David's flat in Glasgow is just great. It's the only one in an urban environment, and the use of space and dividers and underfloor space, I think is just amazing.
Right. Someone else has got to have a turn now.
I'll take a plunge, and it pains me, I'll be honest. I'm going to propose the flat. And not because I didn't enjoy all those wonderful things about it. In some ways, the problem is actually quite a straightforward problem, because you've got to just deal with those very tight constraints and done it very, very well. But it's actually in a strange kind of way quite an easy problem to solve if you just sort of think about it for a minute.
We had so much fun in there, didn't we? It really was.
Brilliant.
Kept you guessing, but it doesn't have that same effect where I just want to see more, or I suppose I don't want to live there full time.
It's quite harsh. Oh, it's a real shame.
Well, that is quite, I mean, you've hit on something, I suppose, maybe, whether just, very, very instinctively, whether you feel, I couldn't live there, That's always going to, I suppose, play a part in some of our thinking. A difficult one.
Yeah. It was...
OK, I see where you guys are coming from.
I mean, I must say, this is really not very easy.
Yeah.
So I'm having to pick one here, from my point of view, that is just not quite measuring up to the same level that I would see potentially in some of the others.
Yeah.
And that's not to take away anything from this as this most amazing flat.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, so
Yeah.
are we
Yeah.
agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going over here.
That's maybe all on one level. I think the restoration really
Yes, I
stands
think
out
the
for me.
to start off with a pile of stones and end up with something that looks like it's always been there.
You know, their house on Skye was interesting. I mean, talking to them about, the process they went through to get to solution. It's always difficult designing your own house from scratch.
Can 5 win? Is it possible for 5 to win?
I think for me it has to be the Humpty House.
That's actually hurt me.
I knew you were going to do that as well. It still hurts.
I mean, I loved it, but there was just something about it that just didn't seem attainable to me. It was just too minimal. It just didn't seem like a home in some ways. It was too tidy, it was too clean. There was sometimes in some of the rooms, it just didn't seem like there were signs of life for me.
I sort of know what you mean. There's a compromise inherent in it. They've got these ideals that they are wanting to live by that we maybe don't have complete faith that they'll be able to stick with it.
Absolutely, and it felt like sometimes it seemed a bit sterile at times.
This word ideal, right? We're all saying ideal. This is ideal. This is an ideal home.
I suppose, though, what Kate's getting at is whether that's natural, whether they've overthought it.
That's the architects overthink, so it's perfect.
Yeah. So it's the perfect home for him.
Well, could I suggest that we put it to one side for the minute?
Fair?
Okay.
And maybe talk about the others? Could we live
Come
with
back
that?
to it.
Let's put it here.
If Humpty House won Scotland's Home of the Year, I think it would be a great achievement for us as a little family.
To win Scotland's Home of the Year sets it as an exemplar for future generations to learn from it and be inspired by it.
Among the luminaries of Scotland's architects, no name shines brighter than Charles Rennie Mackintosh. He has long been an inspiration to Michael Angus, who has come to Mackintosh House in Glasgow to see how he and his artist wife, Margaret, once lived. Here, the original fixtures and fittings of the Mackintosh's home have been gathered and preserved to create an authentic replica of the original, complete with their distinctive furniture and artwork.
Michael, hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you too.
Curator Joseph Sharples shares Michael's passion for Mackintosh.
What we're standing inside is a Victorian house, a house of about 1860, which Mackintosh and his wife moved into in 1906 and radically transformed inside.
It's typical of Mackintosh, isn't it? He wouldn't do anything otherwise, would he? Now, I'm a Mackintosh fan, so I don't need any convincing. Could you pin down, do you think, what makes Mackintosh just quite so unique and quite so special?
Where to begin? I mean, architecturally, I think the management of space and light, but then in terms of decorative arts, the extraordinary individuality and refinement of detail in his furniture designs and wall decoration. And you can see it, for instance, in these light fittings with these petal-like shapes, but abstracted and transformed into something completely new and different.
First thing that hits you is it's dark.
Yes, and that's not actually so untraditional, because in the 19th century, dining rooms were often painted quite darkly, and certain regions of the house will be designated as masculine regions, and they will be treated in a more subdued and darker way.
I mean, the formality is interesting, isn't it? Because you wonder whether it would be too difficult to relax, do you think?
Yes, well, it's an observation that's often been made about Mackintosh interiors, that extreme formality and precision in the arrangement of furniture, the thought that a single item out of place would destroy the harmony of the space. And it's something that contemporaries commented on too.
It's staggering, actually, isn't it?
And it's partly the contrast with the space that we've just left on the ground floor, where the colour is quite dark, light is very subdued. And then we come up to this first floor, which is a space of light and pale finishes.
A lot of drama is unfolding coming into this room.
This was a major structural change that he carried out to the Victorian house by knocking two rooms together and creating this large opening so the space flows through from the back to the front of the house.
You know, trying to imagine people actually inhabiting this room. Are they speaking quietly? Are they laughing? What are they doing, do you think?
We have very little information about what daily life was like for the Macintoshes in their house. Just a few observations from friends who visited and knew them. But we know that this space had a dual function. So the smaller arm of the L was the studio, and that would be where they worked. And we know that Margaret painted in the house and did so very carefully to avoid staining the surfaces. And this area where we are standing was the drawing room and an area for relaxation, conversation, entertaining friends. So it's got a variety of seating, some of it more comfortable than other pieces.
They're very particular little settings, aren't they? They're about two people talking, enjoying a fire, curling up, writing, sitting more casually. So although our first instinct might have been, oh, this is actually quite formal, in actual fact, when you spend some time in the room, you actually realise that you're being given a lot of options about how to behave in this room, perhaps many more than a typical Victorian living room. I've seen my own appreciation of him change from visiting his buildings as a child to draw and study art, to then becoming an architect and discovering more and more and more layers to his work. You can interpret his buildings in so many different ways. There's just something magical about Macintosh's work.
At the deliberations to decide Scotland's Home of the Year, 5 homes are still in the running. Michael has a suggestion for the next home to be cut.
I propose another home for elimination, which is the castle.
No, I didn't see that coming actually, Michael.
Because I know how much I've said about how much I love this building. In some ways, the castle is so much of a given. All those nooks and crannies and all those things that we love, in a sense, are there already. So I can somehow live with this, weirdly, not being Home of the Year.
I know what you mean, except the bits that we really enjoyed had been altered and modified. Was the cedar-lined dressing room and the little kind of hidey way through. And obviously, clearly, there wouldn't originally have been bathrooms in there, and we all loved the bathroom.
It was a bit of a maze at times, you know, disjointed in a way. It was quite a mission to get places, and for me, I just couldn't imagine living there. I think if it was Castle of the Year, fine, but Home of the Year. All agreed?
Yeah. I feel so bad.
I'm feeling so nervous. Are you feeling nervous?
A little bit.
Really nervous, but also so excited. It's been such an exciting process, hasn't it?
I wouldn't like to be a judge on this because you're having to judge, I think, not only the home, but the home in relation to its owner and what role it plays in their lives.
This feels like doing something horrible to a kitten, but I'm going to put little Blair.
He's breaking up with little Blair. I felt like we were joyful in there, weren't we? But it was quite busy, and you didn't really get a break from all the busyness.
I must admit, I'll always just be bowled over by that sort of individualism, and particularly from my point of view, just changing the outside and deciding the outside can be different, you know. And I would struggle at the moment. Shall we have a look at the other two?
Okay. So they're both really, really different, but both of them really, really touched my soul. I don't know if it's to do with the waterside location or just the way that the spaces were interconnected, very, very differently in the two houses, but just they're both very livable.
Yeah, I think for me and Skellig, the concrete was just a touch too much for me. I think if they'd had another feature wall perhaps, or some more softer pieces in the home, it would have worked better.
I felt there was a wonderful livability in the Skellig, but then there was something just sort of almost mystical and magical about the White House that I can't quite put my finger on.
Absolutely.
But you know, then I'm going back and forth here. Which one would I feel more at ease in? I think I'd feel more at ease in this one.
So are we saying that these two are both in the top 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can completely live with that, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that gives us this. We've got to choose between Little Blair and Humpty.
If Little Blair House won Scotland's Home of the Year, it would mean so much to us and so much to our family and friends as well.
I think if our home won Scotland's Home of the Year, I think it'd be really special. Just be a really great reward for all of our hard work.
It's definitely a head versus heart, I think, if you put these two on the table next to each other. This is an intellectual exercise in we're going to decide how people can live in a slightly different way, and we've got issues with that, but that doesn't really matter because it's not our home, it's their home. Every time we talk about Little Blair, we all start smiling like giddy, lovesick teenagers.
I think you've made the argument because you've said head versus heart, and home is where the heart is, so
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, go on.
By Humpty House.
And then there were 3.
These are our 3.
Wow.
I just think they're amazing.
Yeah,
I really do.
it's a really, really good top 3, isn't it? So diverse and so fun.
Yeah.
The judges now have their top 3. Little Blair House in Dalgety Bay, in Scarlack on Skye, and the White House on the Solway Coast.
This house is a home because it's a house that Mike and I built, and it contains ornaments, the bits and pieces. They're all memories of happy times, and they furnish the house. And then, of course, it's a tremendous place to have visitors. Family and friends love visiting. The day we moved in was our 30th wedding anniversary. And then we went and we had fish and chips and champagne, as one does. And the next morning we woke up and took possession of our house properly and kept on pinching ourselves because it was everything that we'd imagined and so much more. It was like a dream come true. He died of a heart attack after complex surgery, which was, of course, unutterably sad. But it wasn't tragic because he'd built the house, he'd seen it, he'd lived in it, he'd enjoyed it. And I think he'd be pleased to know how much pleasure it gives me now.
Myself, Andy, and our 3-year-old daughter Lottie all live here. The house used to belong to my grandma. It's got lots of happy memories in it as well, so that's how we love living here.
It was quite a bit different. Obviously inside it was sort of more styled towards an elderly person, and obviously now it's much more bright and vibrant. We've really transformed the property.
Yeah, we've transferred pretty much every room, haven't we? Injected lots of colour.
Absolutely,
and our
yeah.
personality into the home, haven't we? I've transformed you, haven't I, into a colour lover.
Yeah, I absolutely love the colour, to be honest, and it makes a really kind of nice family, colourful home for us.
Yeah, so I've pretty much got quite a lot of handmade creations everywhere, all across our house. I've made little flowers, I've made little plants, just to make our house a wee bit more personal and a wee bit more individual. We just love the fact that we've been able to take this house and turn it into our family home, and it's just so cosy and happy, and yeah, it just makes us happy, doesn't it, living here?
We came up looking for a plot. Ian wanted somewhere quite remote,
We lived
quite far out.
in the middle of London at that time, and nowhere was remote enough for me.
As we were driving back through the village, we saw this. There's the house, there, a little croft house, and a plot beside it. So it just seemed to me absolutely perfect, and I made him stop when he didn't want to stop and said, one day we're going to live there.
This plot's very peculiar because it is part of the village and it's quite a busy village. But when you come down onto the shore here, you just enter a beautiful wildness. I think that was what inspired us, really.
We've called it Anscarlig, and that means a shelter. And it's also used in Gaelic to mean both a parasol and an umbrella, which you need both on Skye. So it seemed like quite a nice sort of name.
The judges must now decide between themselves which of the three is the winner.
They are amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better three.
No.
Very happy with our decisions.
Who's going to go first? Okay, I'm going to say that I think it should be this one, because it's the one that sort of filled my heart with joy the most.
In this one, I just felt so comfortable, actually, just very naturally, just could feel very, very, very much at ease.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, I just felt somehow literally and metaphorically elevated.
I think this one, for me, is the very definition of a home, full of personality. And I think one thing I thought about when I thought about what represents a home is somewhere where you walk around and you get a feel for the homeowner. You can tell who lives there, and you can tell that they've put their, I don't know, their life and soul into this home. And I think that was obvious as soon as you walked in, even from perhaps the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely agree.
So we've each picked from these three the same home to be home of the year. Are we absolutely comfortable that we've made the right decision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely the winner for me. It's such an extraordinary home, and I think it's very deserving of the title.
I absolutely agree. I couldn't agree more. This is definitely, for me, home of the year.
We've all kind of gone absolutely with our hearts, and we've all chosen the same one. So that's brilliant. That means this really is Scotland's home of the year.
Wow.
For each of us, the house fulfills the function not only of a home, but a place that enables us to be what we want to be.
Our house reflects our personality. It's very personal, it's very individual, and it's very creative as well, which makes it different to all the other houses in the competition.
If Anne Scarlett were to win Scotland's Home of the Year, it would just be stupendous. It would be a more than vindication of all that's gone into it.
Now the judges have done the hard part, they have a chance to talk to the finalists before announcing the winner.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, such a beautiful, beautiful home.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. This was just so fun to be in. We could have spent the entire day just going around. It was really, really lovely.
All of the homeowners in this competition, and obviously particularly the ones that are finalists, have been so generous in allowing us access to their homes and their lives.
I kind of feel like I know you already because I've been rummaging around inside your house.
Hope you didn't find anything.
Well, only a few dead animals. That's right.
Yeah, it was a really, really nice house to be in. We loved how white and bright it was. Nice, isn't it?
Makes us happy.
This portfolio of homes that's sort of so varied, it's so interesting, and we really have seen some of the best homes in Scotland.
We just walked right through your house, sorry. we kind of missed the house. We just went, when we went straight to that point.
It's been quite awe-inspiring to see the level of care that's gone into the construction of many of these buildings, over and above the care that people are putting into their own homes.
Thanks for having us there.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you once again for letting us view all of your fabulous homes and for allowing them to be considered for Home of the Year.
It's been absolutely wonderful to view your homes and discuss your homes, and I think the three of us can agree it was a tricky decision to reach.
Well, we have had to consider 7 incredibly diverse homes, everything from a flat to a castle. And each and every one of those 7 homes is a worthy winner.
So we've shortlisted the final 3 homes, and in no special order, the first home in the top 3 is an incredible synergy of contemporary, everyday materials and stunning location. It's Anne Scarlett on Skye.
And the second home in the top 3 which we loved for its impressive views and beautiful library, is the White House in Cookabry.
And the final home in our top 3 is the utterly charming, delightful, personality-packed Little Blair House in Dalgety Bay.
Gosh, this is really exciting, but there can only be one winner. And it gives me great pleasure to say that Scotland's Home of the Year is the White House.
Obviously, I'd like to thank the judges for their choice. And I'd like to dedicate it to my late husband, whose vision it was, who made it happen, and whose spirit inhabited it. Thank you. There were so many different and lovely houses, all equally deserving of the prize, so I'm absolutely thrilled to be holding it.
It's been a real emotional roller coaster today.
Completely unexpected.
Yes, completely on. It's so shocked, yeah, but our family and friends are going to be so chuffed
really
to
proud
bits.
to make the top 3 and a really worthy winner as well.
Yeah.
I think all the homes in the whole competition have been absolutely fabulous.
Every home that we saw was magical in its own way. We really did see some spectacular homes.
Just seeing some of the great ideas that other people have and you know, the lengths they've gone to in the projects is just...
Yeah, it's just been interesting meeting everyone else, and it's just been good fun, really. I would say from this, to anybody who's got any kind of dream to do something, take a leap of faith and just start.
There's great variation, urban, rural, new, historic, and that's what a home is.
Well, I must say, every single one of the 7 shortlisted in the finalists is a winner, really.
The best thing about being involved in this competition has been just being part of it all. It's been a really interesting experience.
I feel quite emotional about it because I'm really, really excited, and it's such a beautiful home, and it's so lovely to meet the homeowner at last and kind of put those 2 pieces together. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
I was going to be happy if either of them were chosen, but of course I'm happier now that it's mine that was chosen in the end.